So in this lab, we are studying about the Wireshark Lab of DHCP, means the Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. So introduction to DHCP, we understand the basics of Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. So as we know, the DHCP stands for Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. It is a network management protocol used to automatically assign the IP address to devices on a network. So it is a type of a network management protocol which used to automatically assign the unique IP addresses to our device on a network. Okay, the DHCP allows to the centralized management for IP address. It eliminates the need of manual IP address configuration on each device in the network. Okay, it is based on client server model. The client send request to DHCP server to obtain IP address and other network configuration settings. Okay, DHCP automates the IP address assignment. Okay, so it ensures that the devices on a network are assigned uniquely addresses without any conflict. Okay, DHCP provides additional network configuration setting like DNS server, default gateway, subnet mask, and other parameters to devices. Okay, it reduces the network administration overhead. Okay, so what are the components of DHCP? First we have DHCP server, DHCP client, DHCP relay agent, and DHCP least database. Okay, server which is responsible for assigning IP address and network configuration setting to a client. The client, the device that requests and receive an IP address on a other setting from a DHCP server, and furthermore things. So what are the benefits of using DHCP? Okay, efficient IP address management, centralized network configuration, scalability, and improved network security. So we have 8 DHCP messages: DHCP discover, DHCP offer, DHCP request, DHCP acknowledgement, DHCP decline, DHCP release, DHCP inform, and DHCP net. So from these, we have used some messages in our Wireshark lab also. Okay, so how does DHCP work? DHCP discovery. The client broadcasts a DHCP discover message to find available DHCP server. DHCP offers. DHCP server respond to the DHCP offer message proposing an IP address with a configuration setting. Then the DHCP request. The client select the IP address and set DHCP request message to a chosen DHCP server. And DHCP acknowledgement. The DHCP server acknowledges the client request and provide least detail in a DHCP acknowledgement message. So, what is DHCP lease management? Lease duration, lease renewal, and lease rewinding. These are the main thing in lease management. Okay, control assigned to a DHCP server, use DHCP snooping. These are the main component of DHCP. Okay, so conclusion of DHCP is DHCP is simplifies the network's configuration. It automates the IP address assignments and provides centralized management. And it offers scalability and improved network security. So now we have on the DHCP Wireshark Lab PDF. So in this we have to do experiment on DHCP, for which we have to go through some following steps of here. Okay, so begin by the opening of Windows command prompt application. Okay, I'm just running. Okay, now enter ipconfig release. Okay, so the ipconfig release command will do the release your current IP address so that your host IP address become default. Okay, I'm just copying it. Ipconfig release and paste here and enter. Okay, now go to the second step. Start up the Wireshark packet sniffer and begin the Wireshark capturing. So I'm starting the Wireshark. Okay, here it is. Okay, and I'm again starting. Wireshark on Wi-Fi. Okay, so I'm starting the capturing. Okay, now go back to the command prompt and enter ipconfig new. Okay, so this instruction host your host to obtain a network configuration including a new IP address. Okay, so I'm just copying it and entering it here. Okay, now we have to wait until the ipconfig renew command is terminating. Okay, so it's done here, and now we have to use again the same command of IP config renew. Okay, I'm just copying it again. I'm copied it. Okay, I already copied it, so I'll just paste it here and enter. Okay, so now we have to wait for terminate again this section of ipconfig renew. So it is completed, and now we have to re-enter the command of ipconfig release to release the previously allocated IP address to our computer. I am entering it. Okay, and now again we have to enter ipconfig renew. I'm just doing it. Okay, so just we have to wait for 1 second. Now we close our Wireshark packet capturing. I'm just stopping here. Okay, so I just stop. Now go to the next sessions. So now let's take a look at the result of Wireshark Windows to see only DHCP packets enter into the filter field boot P. So DHCP derives from a older protocol called boot P. Okay, so both boot P and DHCP have used same port numbers 67 and 68. So to see the DHCP packets in a current version of Wireshark, we need to enter a boot P. Okay, not the DHCP. So I'm just entering boot P on filter field. Okay, so I'm entering here and these show me the all DHCP commands. Okay, as you see in figure number 2, the first new IP config calls for to generate discover packets and discover offer packets and DSCP, sorry, DSCP discover packet, DSCP offer packet, DSCP request package, and DSCP act package. Okay, so now we have to go to these questions. So our first question is: are DSCP messages sent over UDP or TCP? So to find that, we just go to our Wireshark. As you can see here, it is go on UDP. As you can see here, it is showing her their UDP, user datagram protocol. So these go to the UDP. Okay. Second question. So now draw a timing datagram illustrating the sequence of first four packets. Okay, between client and server. Are the port numbers are the same as in the example given in the lab assignment? So for यहाँ पे कौन सा क्लिक किया?
assignment. So for that, drawing the timing graph, we have to draw the flow graph, and over here the dates address of your host means DHCP discover message. Okay, so discover message and request message. So this is the request message and this is the discover message. So this is discover and this is request. So in discover message, if we will see the DHCP message type is discover, and in request message the DHCP message type is request, and nothing else is different in this. So we will look what is discover and request. So when a client
Next question. Okay, so I am going to start uh, discover and request section. So in the difference of both, the request is have these options and discover have these options. And the first difference is the option 53 of DSCP message type is discover and it is have a request. Okay, as you can see here, it is the parameter length request of these is the length of these is 7. Okay, no, sorry, the length of this is 1 and this is also 1. Okay, and the more difference are here in these options. Now we go to the next question. So next question is what is the value of transaction ID of each of first four messages and what are the values of transaction ID in the second set of the DHCP message and what is the purpose of transition field. So now again we go to our Wireshark and as you can see here, so the question is telling me about the first set of discover, offer, request and act. So here it is discover, offer, request or act. The transaction ID of these four are same. Okay, it is 0x3E5E0CE3. Okay, and now he is asking, the paper is asking about the second set of request and act. So for which we go to there is request and act, request and act. So the value of these are changing. Okay, the now new value is 0x257E55A3. Okay, of these both. Okay, so now we go to the next question. So the next question is a host uses DSCP to obtain an IP address among other things, but the host IP address is not computed until the end of four message exchange. If the IP address is not set until the end of four message exchange, then what is the value of used in IP datagram in a four message exchange for each of the discover request, discover offer request at DSCP indicate the source and destination IP address that carried in an encapsulation IP datagram. So for which we go to our this section and just closing it all. Okay. So here is discover. So discover have the source source port, IP source port here. These two. So the source IP address is 0000 and the destination 0. So for above four discover, offer, request and act, the destination address is same. Okay, but the source IP address is different. So the request and discover have same source IP address, and the ACK and acknowledgement and offer have same IP address. Okay, and the next we see the ACK request and ACK, in which we see these are the source address and destination address. So now we go to the next question. So next question is, what is the IP address of your DHCP server? Okay, for this I'm going to CMD and just write here IP config all. So by entering this, I am using the Wi-Fi. So the server of my computer's IP address is 172.16.0.55. Okay. So next question is, what is the IP address is DHCP serving server offered to your host in DHCP offer message? Indicate which message contain offer DHCP address. So for the eighth question, we go to our Wireshark and we go to the offers section. And as you can see here in DHCP, the serving IP address is this 192.168.1.101. Okay. And the next question is, at which indicate the DHCP message contain the offered DHCP address. So here it is on this requested of this in requested. So it is also the same 192.168.1.101. Okay. So now we go to the next question. In the example screenshot in this assignment, there is no relay agent between the host and DHCP server. What value in the trace indicate the absence of relay agent, and is there relay agent in your experiment? If so, what is the IP address of agent? Okay. Okay, so the next question is, explain the purpose of router and subnet mask line in a DHCP offer message. So for which we again go to our Wireshark and go to the offer message, and here we go to first, this is router line, and this is subnet mask line. Okay, so in subnet line, it tells the client which subnet mask is to you, and router line should give the indicates the where should the um, by default message is sent by the client. Okay, so next question is, in the DHCP trace file noted in footnote 2, the DHCP server offer a specific IP address to a client. In the client response first offer message, does the client accept this IP address? Where in the client responses in a client's requested address? So for which we go to the Wireshark. So first we go to the Wireshark and go to the offers message, and in which the given IP address is this by server is 192.1768.16 and 101, and the requested IP address is, we go to here. Okay, so the requested is also this 192.168.1.101. So both are same. Okay, so now go to the next question. Explain the purpose of lease time and how long is the lease time in your experiment. So for this, we go to again our Wireshark Lab and we go to the acknowledgement ECK, and here As you can see in the options, this is the IP address lease time. So it is 1 day. Okay. So the purpose of lease time is this: the how many time the IP address, the current IP address is valid, and after a 1 day it changed the IP address. For this time, this 1 day current time, the this IP address is allocated to us by server. Okay. So next question, we have to go next question. So next question is, what is the purpose of DHCP release message? How does the DHCP server issue an acknowledgement of a receipt of a client DHCP request? What should happen if the client's DHCP release message is lost? So for giving the answer of this question, I return my answer to explain you. I'm just showing it here. Okay. So the answer is, the purpose of release message is to release the IP address back to the server. Okay, there is no verification that the release message can be received by a server. Okay, or if the message is lost, the client release the IP address, but the server will not reassign the IP address until the client's leash on the address is expired. Okay, so the next question is, clear the bootp filter from your Wireshark window and where any ARP packet sent or received during the DHCP packet exchange period. If so, explain the purpose of these ARP. So we go to the Wireshark and remove the filter and enter. Okay. So as you can see, here is the ARP message. Okay, here. So the meaning of ARP is address resolution protocol. So before assigning an IP address any, the DHCP server verify that these IP addresses does not allocated by any other IP, okay, or any restriction we have. So to check that the server first broadcast the ARP. Okay, so this is for DSCP lab. We complete all the questions of these lab. So thank you very much.